Welcome to the Machinist News Network. I'm Deirdre Kanievsky. Hurricane Katrina may have hit the Gulf Coast more than 2 years ago, but for many, the nightmare continues, while hundreds of thousands remain displaced. Some say that's a violation of basic human rights. Organized labor has always fought for human rights, the right to organize, to have a good-paying job, to be able to take care of their families. Those rights shouldn't end when a natural disaster occurs.
You can't just take people and disperse them across the country, provide them some temporary assistance, and then wipe your hands of the situation and tell people they have to fend for themselves. So our responsibility as human rights activists is to have to be always the skunk at the party.
Immediately following Hurricane Katrina, it's estimated close to 1.3 million people were displaced. It was the largest displacement of people in U.S. history. But for many, things are getting worse, not better.
Discrimination and violations of economic, social and cultural rights can become more entrenched the longer displacement lasts.
For machinists and their families affected by the storm, the IAM was there to help with money and support. But for those without such assistance, getting back to a normal life has become a lesson in human rights.
We've had children who've been turned away from schools because of the lack of classrooms. We are having preventable deaths because of the lack of healthcare facilities and medical professionals in the city. These are extreme problems that are human rights problems.
That's why this group is meeting, to put together guidelines that make sure protecting human rights is at the top of the priority list when a disaster strikes.
When you do look back 2.5 years, you had the issues of people not being notified when their homes were being demolished, or kind of an uncoordinated, disjointed planning and rebuilding process, that nobody quite knew what was happening, and there wasn't a lot of public information about it. The fact that there weren't efforts to provide for displaced voters in the wake of the storms, to have a participation in the decisions.
After a disaster, a displaced person should have the right to decide if, when, and how they want to return home. The responsibility of the government should be to create a situation where that can happen. Many say that hasn't happened in New Orleans. Lawyer and NOLA resident Monique Hardin blames the Bush administration for the insufficient recovery.
Our claim to come back is being denied. Our right to come back is being denied.
For the next few weeks, this group of experts will work with the public policy organization, the Brookings Institute, to come up with some solutions. They want to address issues like how the government can help with mortgages after a disaster, or what can be done for renters, or even how to make sure something like the levees breaking never happens again.
It's an urgent issue, and one that, if taken seriously and truly translated into policy, could literally change the lives of hundreds of thousands of people, especially in the affected area in the Gulf Coast.
According to the United Nations, in the last 2 decades, close to 200 million people have been affected by natural disasters. And because of climate change, this number could increase substantially in the future. For more Machinist News, you can log on to goim.org. Thanks for watching.